Hello, Aries. How are you guys? I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a reading for the month of August. This is going to be your month at a glance. We are going to be doing a Celtic cross for you guys and just kind of seeing what's going on, what's showing up. So if you are an Aries, if you have Aries anywhere in your chart, maybe you're a cross watcher, this reading might resonate for you. As always, we're on the internet, so we're going to take what resonates and we're going to leave what doesn't. Okay? If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website, okay? You'll have to forgive me. I am struggling with allergies really bad this week, so if I sound congested, it's because I am. So I am just trying to powerhouse through it. We have taken the allergy medicine. We are doing the best that we can. But if you're like, why does he sound like he has a stuffy nose? It would be because I do. All right, Aries, let's see what's going on for you guys. Let me move my mouse, give myself some more room here. Oh, I don't know. If you're struggling with allergies, please let me know in the comments. I don't want to feel so alone. I think it's just the temperature change for me. I am in Pennsylvania, and we keep going from like mid 90s to like mid 60s, and then it'll like bump back up to like 70 for the day. I think the extreme heat change, and then like everywhere is air conditioned obviously inside, so that also I think is just like really messing up with my body. My cat has joined us today as well. You can see him right there. Okay, let's dive in, Aries. Let's see what's going on for you guys in August. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Magician. Okay, interesting. And the Star. Aries, I feel like a lot of your challenge in August is recognizing that you don't have to be perfect to start something. I feel like a lot of your challenge here is this realization for you guys of if I want something and I want to go after it, that's okay. I don't have to be absolutely perfect at it. I don't have to do everything correct the first time around, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, this could be work. It doesn't have to be. But with that Magician as well, I feel like that's like your the Magician is the manifester. It's what you want. It's what you're trying to call in, right? It's a very magical sort of major arcana, and I feel like for a lot of you guys here, it's like the longer I look at your challenge, the longer I feel like I'm just kind of striving at my own pace, and I'm not really. Um, I feel like a lot of you guys are working on not really being concerned with the opinions of other people, um, or like the opinions of outside opinions when it comes to your own progress and your own success. I always tell my clients and my collectives success is so personal and success is so individualized. We can't really gauge our success based on someone else's preferential values, right? So this feels like I almost want to call it a little bit of like a wake up call here for you, Aries, in August, because it feels like you are really taking that into account and taking your success into your own hands. So let's talk about it. Let's dive in. You start with the Eight of Wands as your current energies. I do love to see this. Eight of Wands is fast incoming communication. So this is like texts, phone calls, emails. Eight of Wands is people also in person vying for your attention. It's like people they want to be around you, they want to talk to you, they want to be near you is what I'm picking up here. And I feel like that's really important for you in August for some reason is what I'm getting. Like being, for lack of a better way to put it, but like being more on the popular side in August is going to help you probably with your career, probably with the things that you are looking to really focus on and get done here. Your crossing card is the Five of Wands. This is interesting because a crossing card in the Celtic cross is either a help or hindrance. Five of Wands is a hindrance, babe, because Five of Wands is conflict. So it feels like as you're sort of navigating these waters, there is going to be a little bit of people not liking what you're really doing here, right? I feel like for some of you, you may be dealing with people that are like very opinionated. I feel like Um, so sorry, I'm getting warm all of a sudden. I always get warm like when I channel. It's just like part of it. If you ever watch Tyler Henry, same thing happens to him. He literally sweats. Um, so I was like cold before. This is why I'm telling you guys. My allergies are whooping my ass. I was cold. Now I'm hot. But anyway, with this Five of Wands as you're crossing, it feels like some people may be trying to tell you how to do things right now, is what I want to say. Like, what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. And I really feel like in August, you need to focus on where your own thoughts and your own intuition want you to go. You know, friends can always, of course, offer us words of advice, but at the end of the day, when it's our life to live, we have to kind of choose like what we want to do, where, you know, what advice we want to take, what advice we don't want to take, things of that sort. Yeah, you've got the Six of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and Temperance. I feel like some of you guys are also taking your time here. That came through a little bit with your challenge. Remember, I said you guys are really like moving at your own pace, and I feel like this is still true. You know, not still true. I mean, we've barely gotten into August at all here, but that sort of seems to be like the first emerging theme for you guys in August, that you are not letting other people pressure you into moving a specific way, into tackling things a specific way, into really being someone who you are not. You know, I feel like with this Nine of Cups, I keep looking at it, specifically like the butterfly slash moths that are on this card. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're really coming out of a chrysalis moment. You know, I feel like you've spent a lot of time, the way my guides are saying this to me is like figuring yourself out, sorting your stuff out. And I feel like now, as you are sort of emerging from this chrysalis, you're like, okay, world, here I am. This is me. And it feels like it comes with a lot of pride here. You know, I feel like you guys have worked really hard to show up in the world how you want to, and not how you feel like you should. You know what I mean? Because in your, I almost said physical world. This is not your physical world. This is your mental world. This is the Wheel of Fortune. That's this position. So again, Wheel of Fortune. Some of you guys are aware that the universe is kind of stepping in to help you here. The Wheel of Fortune is divine help. You know, it is your guides coming through, your ancestors coming through to sort of lend you a hand here. And I feel like a lot of you know this. Like, I don't think, you know, Aries, I feel like some of you, excuse me, could have a spiritual practice, because I feel like you are kind of tapped in here. Um, but I feel like it's just an awareness. Like, it's like you're aware that this is going on. You know, your guides might be helping you behind the scenes, pulling some strings, doing what they can, but you're also kind of like, okay, I know that that's happening. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you pull cards for yourself. Maybe you have some sort of divination here. Two of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so for a lot of you, you're also kind of focused on work this month. You know, or you're focused on shifting work. Two of Cups can be a business partnership. And then with that Page of Pentacles here, that is usually some sort of offer. A Page of Pentacles is like, hey, I want to work with you. Hey, I have this idea. Like, hey, I'd love to partner. You know, and the strength is self-esteem, self-worth. So it does sort of feel like in your headspace, you are aware that your guides are stepping in, but maybe you want them to step in more of like a career role. Like, some of you may be looking for a little bit more help in the career field here. Yeah, I just put the deck on Judgment. I think some of you guys are looking to move away from something with Judgment. It's probably something you've been doing for a while. Judgment is like a return card. So it almost feels like some of you guys need to be a little bit more, my guys are saying this is kind of funny. They're like vocal, ask for help. You know, if you don't want to ask physical people for help, that's totally fine. That's cool. But if you want to ask your guides for help, you have to actually ask for it, okay? You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm struggling. Wouldn't it be so crazy if someone stepped in and helped me right now? Wow, that'd be crazy. Just ask, babe. Okay, just literally talk out loud, go into a meditation, whatever it is for you, and just be like, hey guys, like, I need help. Can you send me a sign? Show me a direction, throw me in a room with someone I'm meant to be in, something, okay? And obviously, this is not going to be instantaneous, Aries. You're not going to ask for help and they're going to teleport you into a room, okay? But I feel like for some of you, it's like your guides are waiting for you to um bridge this with them. You know, it's like they're not going to step in unless you specifically ask for them to step in. Okay. Because in your physical world, you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So again, work, very work oriented in August. We're thinking about work. We're probably doing work. Eight of Pentacles. I always think of the song literally Work by Rihanna, because Eight of Pentacles is like pounding away at your profession and just kind of going at it here. The Star. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys are, like I said, looking for a shift here. You're looking for something to change. You're looking for the stars to align. Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. I can't make it up. The Eight of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. I wish I was joking. I'm not. And the Star. Yeah, it feels like Aries. A lot of you guys are maybe like putting in this like really hard work, and it feels like you're kind of like, okay, well, when are the stars going to align? When is like something going to change for me here? You know, and I feel like, sorry, there's something on my card. There's like a big flag of dust on my card. I'm like, what is that? You know, I feel like a lot of you guys are really just looking for something to shift here, something to change here. And it almost feels like some of you guys may not really know how to do it, is kind of how this is coming through. You're like, okay, something has to change, but, oh, okay, thank you. My guide is actually correcting me. It's not that you don't know how to do it, but you don't have hope for the outcome. So a lot of you guys aren't putting effort into anything new or like entertaining the thought of anything new because you're like, well, it's not going to work anyway, so why even try? And I feel like your guides want you to be like very careful, like be very on top of the way that you're thinking here. Be very like aware of the self-limiting beliefs and the way that you're talking, because it does, what we say shapes our mental landscape, shapes our physical landscape. Okay, so like if I'm thinking and saying nothing's gonna work out, everything is bad, this will never happen for me, that's what my world looks like. It shapes my world that way. Okay, be very careful with that. Change the way that you're talking and change the expectation here. In your past, you have the Devil. So Aries, this does kind of check out. Devil is also a card of Capricorn. You have Capricorn in your chart. You know, I feel like with this Devil, again, I think this is just like a long-standing bad habit for a lot of you guys of counting yourself out, just not really believing in yourself very much. For a lot of you, there's like internalized capitalism here, like you equate your worth with your productivity, like how good are you at your job? And I feel like all these things kind of make it so you don't have a very conducive energy for growth in your life, right? You kind of just latch onto whatever is there that's kind of filling that void for you, making you feel good about your work and things like that. And then that's it. You know, there's not really, at least in the past, there was not really a lot more thought than that. It was just sort of like, okay, this makes me feel good, I'm going to keep doing it. You know, and I feel like now you guys, August is like a very reflective month, I feel like. You guys are really looking at this habit and asking yourself, like, okay, why am I holding on to this? It's just hurting me, but I can't seem to shake it. Yeah, Queen of Swords with the Five of Wands. I think a lot of you are also tackling your tendency to be, like, very self-critical here. Very, like, the way my guide just said this to me is, like, you condemn yourself a lot. You know, I feel like you... How do I say this? It's like... It's just self-critical. It's very, very self-critical. It's that voice of you being like, wow, I did this, but it's not good enough. You know, I feel like you're the first person to kind of, if everyone's like complimenting the work you're doing, they're like, wow, this is so great. Wow, let's say you're an artist and you're like, oh my God, everyone, like all your friends like, wow, that drawing is like so good. You're the first person to be like, it's really not. Aries, why are we doing this? You know, I feel like August is really highlighting this question for you guys of like, why are you the first person to count yourself out? You know, the race hasn't even begun and you're like, well, I've lost. Like I said, Your mental world shapes your physical landscape by what you say and what you think, okay? A lot of you guys here need to start tackling both of these things. I feel like you are in August. I think this is a leftover. This to me feels like the remnant of a past problem. Because moving into your near future, you have the High Priestess. I feel like a lot of you guys are learning to trust your gut and your intuition over that negative voice that's in your head telling you you're going to fail. Because you're aware that that voice is a trauma response. You're aware that it's not yours. You're aware it comes from someone else. You know, this is like one of the first things I ever learned in therapy that I tell my collective all the time. The voice that's given to you, you know, that tells you you're going to fail, it's from someone saying it to you. But if we don't snuff that voice out when we're young, it becomes your own voice. And so a lot of you are recognizing that you did not snuff a voice out here, and it has become your own, which makes it hurt worse. I'm so sorry about how stuffy I am. I'm like not sick enough. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I can't not do videos just because I'm stuffy. But then I do the video and I'm like, I hope nobody's gonna mind. Anyway, I'm trying to stay hydrated. Fingers crossed. If you're out there, cross your fingers for me that I'm not getting a cold. Yeah, you've got the Ten of Pentacles here and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. For a lot of you, your issues with productivity stem from the family. Ten of Pentacles for me is like a family unit card. I feel like some of you could have had parents that were very much like... Okay, that's harsh what my guides are giving me. You're only as good as the work you do right now. So it's almost like some of you could have had parents that were very big on like if you had a lot of successes in the past, but then maybe you know, didn't perform the way they wanted you to perform with something in the present, they were like, okay, well, you're worthless. And it's like this weird, it's like discombobulating because I feel like for a lot of you, there was a lot of progress here in the past. There was a lot of, you know, you were probably a very smart child is what's coming through, you know, very like, I heard this in the last, one of the readings I did for the water signs yesterday too, because you could have water in your chart. I can't remember which one, you'll have to forgive me, but like gifted child, like you could have been a gifted child. And it was like, your parents only ever wanted more of it. You know, you were like, oh, I did really good in English today, got an A on this. And they're like, okay, well, what about all your other classes? You know, and it's like, babe, why can't I just have the one victory? You know, I feel like for a lot of you guys here, you're deconstructing this belief system that was left over from your childhood of every single thing you do has to be victorious. Every single thing you do has to be worth merit. And I feel like for a lot of you, I just got like really heavy in my shoulders. I feel like a lot of you, this is a very big burden for you. This is like a very, very heavy thing to try and place down. This idea of like, I don't have to be perfect all of the time. You know, like perfect, number one, first of all, we don't have to be perfect ever. We are literally humans. There is no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. You know, the only thing I can think of is a computer draws a circle and it's a perfect circle. Okay, whoop-de-da-do. I'm never going to draw a perfect circle. You're never going to draw a perfect circle. Do you know what I mean here? It's like we're always, but we're going to, I've seen artists draw circles that look perfect to the eye. That's what matters. You're doing an exceptional circle. Okay, I don't know if some of you are drawers because that's the examples they're giving me here. Like you made an exceptional circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be a computer drawn circle. Okay, that's what I feel like you're putting down. Like that heaviness and that the idea that it has to look a certain way and be a certain way feels like the weight that you're trying to put down this month. It feels like you're trying to let go of it. Because even in your how you're viewing yourself as the Four of Pentacles, you're aware that you're a little bit of an emotional hoarder. You know, that's what I call people that they have all these emotions that they never get rid of. They just kind of store them and store them and store them. And then before you know it, you're bursting at the seams with all these emotions you've never really encountered before because you've never dealt with them. And so it feels like a lot of you guys know that about yourself and you are like, I don't like this. I don't want to be this way. You know, I think a lot of you, the way my guides are saying this to me is like, you're finally realizing that you want better, you know, and that's what August seems to be really about for you guys. Yeah, you've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords again. Sorry for all the sniffles. Bottom of your deck is the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're ready to let things, I know this is going to sound dramatic, but let things die. You know, it's like I feel like some of you guys are, there's a sense of acceptance here. It's like, you know, when you have, some of you could have plants, because it's like the way I'm hearing it is like, you know, when you have that one plant that just no matter what you do, it's not coming back to life. It's just its time is up. I feel like that's sort of how you guys are looking at things here. You're looking at either the problems you're having or the baggage that you're bringing in from the past, and you're like, okay, it's here, but I have to just let this die. This is like not something I can continue to carry forward with me. And I feel like a lot of you guys have come to this acceptance of like, this has done nothing but hurt me. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's kind of scary to let it go, because it's been your modus operandi for so long. It's been the way you've operated for so long that it creates that little bit of like pocket of fear, because you're like, well, I don't know how else to be. I don't know anything else beside this. You do, babe. You just have to think about it. You do know. There are moments in your life when you are not critical about yourself, when you are not thinking about yourself in this way. There are all these moments that you have to focus on and duplicate that feeling. You know, when you go food shopping, are you judging yourself based on how you're pushing the cart? No. Think about that and then compare it to all the other places in your life where you are judging yourself, where you are bringing yourself down. What is it like to just simply exist? What if you just went through life without the idea that you had to perform and that you had to be a certain way to be acceptable? What does that look like for you? You know, your superpower right now is the Page of Pentacles. I do feel like for a lot of you, like I said with career, you're very adept at what you're doing. You excel at what you do here, at your career, at your job. And I feel like that's part of what's going to help you succeed anywhere you go. It feels like you are very well equipped to do your job anywhere, not just where you currently are. Thank you. Yeah, King of Cups. It's like you're more Four of Wands. I think a lot of you guys are more like emotionally connected than you think. That's what I want to say. I feel like with that King of Cups and the Four of Wands, I feel like a lot of you guys are more tapped into your own self, your own wants, and your own needs than you really truly believe, or even really truly realize. I feel like a lot of you guys are moving from a place of like heart center right now, where you're like, okay, I want this, I want that, I want to be successful, I want to be free, I want this. And you're not really focusing on the money, the opportunity, you know, the more physical aspects of it. It's a very positive shift that's happening for you right now. Because even your hope right now is the Queen of Pentacles. You know, a lot of you guys are reparenting yourself in August, you know. That's weird. I almost called you Leo. Aries, you could have Leo in your chart. But Aries, it feels like with that Queen of Pentacles, a lot of you guys are reparenting. You are rediscovering yourself, but you're also reprogramming your brain here, reprogramming yourself here. Very positive reading. Eight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is probably something that's been pointed out to you before, too, with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Cups. You may have had friends in your support system, friends, relatives, whatever that is for you, chosen family, real, like, biological family, whatever it is for you, that have pointed out, like, hey, we've noticed this and we think it's not making you happy. And I feel like it's taken you guys a while to recognize this, to like see that this pattern was prevalent, to see that this thought system was really bringing you down. And I feel like a lot of you guys are now recognizing, okay, maybe these people had a point. You know, like I feel like you know, Aries can be quite stubborn sometimes, and so it feels like you guys are really coming to this place of like acceptance, just being like, yeah, you know, I think they were right. I don't think I am as happy as I think I am. I don't think I am as free from my own thoughts as I thought I was. And there's no shame in that, Aries. You know, I feel like some of you guys may be dealing with some shame here, or like some feeling, like bad feelings about it. Like, oh, how come I didn't see it? When we are in the trenches, we're not going to see it, babe. Okay, I tell my clients this all the time. I tell my collectives this all the time. When we are in the trenches and going the fuck through it, we're not really noticing that we're in the trenches. We're solely focused on surviving it. Okay, so if the only thing you did for the past year, 2, 3 years was survive the trenches, that is enough. That is good enough. Give yourself credit for that. Okay, sometimes our greatest accomplishment is just simply surviving it. Okay? Your outcome here is the Five of Swords, which is an odd outcome. Okay? The Five of Swords is like self-sabotage. So to me, this is almost like, I feel like this is you getting a grip on the self-sabotage. I don't think this is you actively self-sabotaging yourself. I feel like this is you being like, okay, this isn't helping me. This is how I'm self-sabotaging. What am I going to do about it? It's like a strong awareness, like self-awareness is coming through. Yeah, Ace of Cups and Judgment. I feel like a lot of you guys are also settling on like the idea of, I have to love myself more. I have to be committed to myself. I am my greatest commitment here. You know, I tell my clients, I tell my collectives this all the time. Waking up every day for the rest of our lives and choosing ourselves is a very hard lesson to learn. And I feel like, Aries, that's what that's what August is here to show for you. It's here to teach you. I have to wake up every day and choose myself. I have to make sure that I'm not self-sabotaging. I have to make sure that I am doing what's best for me and what's healthiest for me and loving myself unconditionally. You know, showing myself the grace, the care, the compassion that I show to everyone else and redirecting it to me. Okay, that's really how this feels to me. Like I said, I don't feel like your outcome is you self-sabotaging. I feel like your outcome is like getting the reins on the self-sabotage, and, you know, it's like moving past all the doubt, all the subconscious belief systems, and starting fresh here is what I want to say. You know, that sort of seems your August theme is like starting fresh. But okay, let's get you an oracle card. I am using the Angelarium. It is my absolute favorite oracle deck. It reads us to filth every time I use it. Love that. But let's see what the angels have for you. What is Aries in August? Oh, that was fast. Thank you. This again, I think, why do I want to say this came out for Cancer? I could be so wrong. One of the water signs, I can't remember, it's going to bother me, had this as well. But your advice is Cithariel, Angel of Deception. I'm telling you, some of you have water in your chart. Wherever your water placement is, Aries, go watch that video. There's stuff in that video for you, for sure. I keep hearing it. Okay, but this is number 21 for those of you that are into numerology. Okay. Drawing this card is an opportunity to consider the ways in which you might deceive others and the ways in which you might deceive yourself. The masks we wear may shield us from the harshness of the world around us, but they also function as a gateway to descend into roles that shade our authentic selves from the conscious mind. Be wary of the stories you tell about yourself. This card always reminds me especially that the ego that we have, the masks that we wear, that we put forward to the world, they blind us from what's actually going on inside of us that keeps us disconnected from the conscious mind. That's what this is about. It's removing the mask, tapping into our inner selves, our true selves, and then getting rid of the ego. Okay? Aries, I will leave that there for you. That is your month at a glance, okay? If this reading resonates with you, or if my reading style resonates with you, do consider liking and subscribing. We are on the way to 200 subscribers, which is exciting. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live every Wednesday and Friday on Twitch from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. So when this video posts, I will be going live tonight. So you can come and interact with me if you would like. I have a Discord community that you can join. That's where you'll find also all the updates about my stream schedule and stuff is on Discord. So, Aries, I hope to see you over on Twitch one of these days, but if not, it's okay. I will catch you guys in the next video. All right? Bye!